When your student is ready to start entering information about their project, have them log back into Scienteer. In order to start, click on step number 1 on the menu to their left. Simply enter their project title as well as the category. You can see that all of the available categories for our regional science fair is listed, and they can choose the one that applies. The second step will be to designate their project as either team status or individual. If it is a team, each person in the team will need to create their own Scienteer account so that we have record of each student participating for that particular project, and they can all work on the project simultaneously in the Scienteer system. Each individual member does not need to enter all of the information for their project, but rather each student can work on it from their own separate account. In order to invite a team member, you would create their name and send a link, which would then link their Scienteer account all together. And again, it designates them as a team project. Next, go to step 3, project start date. Enter the start date in which the consent was obtained from the parents, as well as when you plan to designate the initial start of the project. The most important part of Scienteer is going to be step number 4. This is what would normally be filled out on all the paper forms that we are provided on a yearly basis by the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair. So based on the information provided by your student to these various questions, it will prompt the necessary forms to be automatically filled out in Scienteer, and will also designate their project as needing either internal review board approval or scientific review committee approval. IRB approval is needed if your student's project involves human subjects, and SRC approval is needed if your student's project would involve potential dangerous chemicals or bacteria. When your student has checked all the boxes that are necessary for their project, click Next Session and move forward. Again, each one of these question sets will determine whether or not IRB or SRC approval is needed. Step number 5 involves the research plan. If your students have already written out their plan in a Word document, simply copy and paste into this text box. This allows our SRC and IRB committees to review the exact procedure that your students will be taking for their experiment. In addition, your students will need to enter their hypothesis as well as their purpose. Step 6 allows any extra forms that may be needed for your project as well.